Hey yo guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I want to go discuss some Sony restocking, some PS Direct talk, some PS Direct speculation and rumors, and just a few little overall Sony talks and kind of rambles and speculations mixed in throughout the video itself. If any of you guys are new, welcome all you guys, welcome. Drop a subscription and put on the notifications if you guys would like. We do also have the PS5 giveaway that's going on too as well. If you guys want to enter, all you guys have to do is go and subscribe. We also have a Twitter one going on too as well, link down below. Amazon link in case you guys are ever curious for the actual PS5 restock. There's always linked down below. It's very much overdue. We're on the lookout for it. We'll give you guys more news for sure whenever we do hear more news just in general on that. The Twitch stream, if you guys want to come say hi and hang on out as well. Or drop a prime sub. We have like 62 cat emotes. Weeble, deposit $100. Dude, I had like so many people go and deposit on Weeble this past day. I had I think 80 referrals. It is ridiculous. So if you guys want to, you guys go get $25 for free. Always link down below. You guys get free stocks if you guys deposit $100. And in Coinbase, you guys also buy $100 with any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin as well. So guys, we have a few little things I want to go talk about. Like I said, a little bit more on the rumor speculation side, kind of my thoughts overall. So kind of just like a little fun video if you guys are waiting for some stuff on how to actually go and drop in general. So if you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy. And also hope you guys enjoyed the Mohio video I made earlier on today. I can link that down below. Basically, there was insane. We saw a company that had like 300 PS5s that they were giving out. It was kind of insane. I'm just saying. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll lay that down below. So a few things I want to touch on for this video. So number one, I want to go touch on the Microsoft restocks that happen, how that kind of affects up actual Sony stock, and Sony retailers, and kind of how that all kind of corresponds, at least in my opinion, based on what I've been seeing throughout this past few weeks in terms of information, restocks, retailer restocks, etc. Just a lot of little random things kind of mixed down throughout this. So I want to go start off number one with the actual Microsoft restock. So if you guys saw Microsoft, actual Microsoft Direct, very similarly to the actual PS Direct, is basically how you just guys basically buy the consoles themselves directly from the manufacturers, aka either Microsoft for the Xbox Series X or the PS Direct for, through Sony for actually the consoles themselves. So if you guys don't know, that's just what they are. Usually they're really nice, easy, and fast ways to go get consoles, and I usually do recommend them. If you guys ever do see the queues or see the queue recommendations or whatever, I usually like to either put those on my actual YouTube community or tweet them on out. So that's why I would say you guys go and follow or subscribe for that. But one major thing is that Microsoft actually had a drop very recently for the Xbox Series X and S. And that's why I think there's a lot of big rumors coming on up as well, at least for today and also for the next upcoming few days as well, like Monday, Tuesday, and also more so next week. I'll touch on that myself in a second. So just be on the lookout for that. Now, I don't think that necessarily has too much bearings when it comes to actual potential drops. Maybe it does, and we'll see it throughout the next 3 to 5 hours or so when if a PS Direct does go and drop. I don't necessarily think there's too much correlation because these places are more so just kind of releasing stock when it's available. But I think there is a bit of a correlation maybe with the secondhand topic I want to go talk about in a second. So you guys can be a little bit on the lookout for the PS Direct today. I'm going to go and say it's slightly a little bit more unlikely just because overall stock, we have a lot of major retailers restocking as well. I'm going to put it a little bit lower on the actual active list or whatever. We've been on the lookout for the past 4 days, and I think there really hasn't been too many PS Directs drops in general. For the past 3 weeks, I've maybe seen maybe 2 to 3 or so, give or take. Maybe a few more if I just am miscalculating the weeks. But they actually have been a lot less often, and they're not actually supplying as often too as well, which does kind of stink because I do really feel like that's probably one of the best places to go and actually get stock itself. So we can be on the lookout for today, but I think more so based on my speculation that next week actually hopefully will be a good week. And I'm going to kind of go and ramble and say kind of why. You guys can, I guess, I don't know. You guys can leave your thoughts down below if you guys would ever like to and all that stuff. So when it comes to all these major directs, when it comes to say Xbox or Sony or whatever going to restock in their consoles, typically, don't forget a lot of these retailers usually have contracts with the actual producers themselves, Microsoft or Sony. So sometimes they actually have to go and fulfill certain amounts of actual supply first. So I kind of want to go lean into this a little bit, and I kind of feel like it might be good speculation. So throughout the past few weeks, I sometimes feel like, it's also maybe completely wrong, like I said, ramble, speculation, that typically whenever other major retailers have their stock fulfilled, so think the Walmart, Target, Best Buy, etc., typically I feel like I've been seeing more actual Sony Directs whenever those happen because the other actual places are fulfilled, at least for that week, and they have the available stock to actually go and sell extras on the PS Direct. Now, we've also seen a few weeks out there where there actually just been drops everywhere. We had Sony and PS Directs, we've had Walmarts, we had Amazons, we had Best Buys all in the same week. But kind of what I've been noticing is usually whenever there is a major retailer restock, and we have seen quite a few of those, Number one, we do know Best Buy actually has stock. They've been kind of sitting on it for a little bit, but we do know Best Buy has had stock. Target had their weird micro drops. Walmart dropped yesterday. So we've been kind of seeing all these major retailers, even with all the Meijer stuff going on. So we've been seeing all the stuff going on, but the major issue is that with all of them getting all the stock, they are taking stock away from Sony themselves, aka the PS Direct, which would make sense. As I mentioned, they usually have contractual obligations to be like, hey, we're Walmart, we want 100,000 consoles every 2 weeks, we want to have actual sales on our websites, we want bundles, we want whatever. So overall, that makes sense in terms of whenever all these major retailers, as I mentioned, like the Best Buy, Walmart, whatever's, whenever they go get their stock, typically that's when the extra available stock can go towards PS Directs. Now, I'm not necessarily sure if they more so have like pre-allocated stock already for the PS Directs, mainly because they do get the wholesale price. They don't have to go pay those weird like retailer fees or some little bit on a loss when it comes to the actual Walmart or Target, etc. Because of course, Walmart and Target, Best Buy all want to make a profit. Same with Amazon. So typically, if they can somehow sell it wholesale directly to us, they have really good quality control, and they also have really good actual control of the stock themselves because they're, well, literally Sony themselves. I'm sure the same thing happens also with Microsoft, where they probably have contractual obligations to go and fulfill people with their actual Xbox Series X's or S's. So overall, I do kind of feel like that actually might lead towards actual more PS Directs for next week. Mainly because I guess it kind of depends too on how big the next Best Buy drop and Amazon drop are going to be. We are very much overdue waiting for Amazon itself for another drop, especially for the digitals as well. Also, we do know Best Buy is at stock, but of course we don't necessarily know how many Best Buys have stock, how much warehouse stock is available for Best Buy, and all these other locations too as well. So that's kind of my speculation lined on in, mainly because as we've had a lot of the big drops, the stock should hopefully have already been flowing and or has been flowed enough that there is extras for Sony themselves to finally go and sell more stock through the PS Direct. So do I necessarily think that there's going to be a PS Direct drop today? I'm kind of leaning towards a little bit on the, probably more no side. Number one, with all the actual winter storms that may have actually moved stock around and maybe delayed some stuff, we did see some confirmations that did go and delay some things, say for like the Target drop, etc. For me in Chicago, it was snowing. It even, I think, is even lightly snowing right now. There's ice everywhere, and I think that does sometimes go and delay out more so think like big trucks, moving big shipments of actual consoles moving across the country. But as well, if you guys also go and factor in some other things, you have things like the Super Bowl going on. Now, do I think the Super Bowl is really going to affect PS5 restocks? Maybe, honestly, maybe. I kind of think probably not. Like, I feel like there's not too much of a correlation. But typically, when it comes to more so these, like, kind of holiday things, a lot of these major retailers and other places kind of want to go and focus more on other different things, you know, selling food, selling chips, selling meats or whatever, etc. Selling TVs for the big day. But that doesn't necessarily, I really feel like, affect Sony themselves, or they're trying their best to actually go and get up stock and move stock or sell stock directly from their own wholesalers. So I don't know. That's kind of my little guess. I think that for today, I think it'll be a little bit more on the lower end. There's always a chance, of course. That's why I always tell you guys to follow the Twitter and the actual YouTube. But as I mentioned, for my little kind of random weird speculation, ramble, or whatever you guys want to go and call it, I do think there's a higher chance throughout this next week because, as I mentioned, there's been a lot of major retailers that actually have had stock been sent on out, and also stock that has already been like allocated and fulfilled. So basically, we'll maybe have a chance for Sony to go and have some extra stock for them to go and actually plan out for some PS Directs. Now, this is kind of just maybe a speculation. We can kind of go and see. We never know exactly because the PS Directs do kind of pop up a lot. We did have that like 3-week period where there was basically none, but we also saw a lot of them for like maybe like 3 to 5 times a week earlier on, either earlier last year and also kind of like the start of this year. So I don't know. I always kind of do recommend the PS Direct, and I do think it's probably one of the best places to go and get stock. I always go and say that. It's always just more easy with the warranty for the shipping and just actually buying it wholesale from Sony. I do also really like the actual RNG elements of it. So basically, even if you're a little bit late, you still have a chance to go get it. It's also harder for bots to go get them as well because you have to, I believe, actually have your Sony account actually linked to it. So I prefer it. I like it. I want more PS Directs, and hopefully Sony will keep on producing them more too as well. We also, I want to go and touch on a quick little leak as well that we've kind of had in relations towards Sony. This has not been a confirmed one. That's why I'm doing it more at the actual end of this video itself. But we actually have been hearing that Sony has also been slowly hoarding more stock too as well. Now, this is just kind of from like a source, quote unquote, but they haven't necessarily been like a long-term source for me. So I'd always, of course, want to say take that with a grain of salt. But we have I've heard a little bit of rumors when it comes to Sony actually building up more stock. We also saw previous tweets maybe around like 2 weeks ago or so, 1 week ago or so, before on more PS Directs actually went and happened. And that also led into actually seeing us, I think, 2 PS Directs throughout that week when we did see that like leak picture kind of come on through. I don't know if I ever covered that up on my channel or not, but that was floating around. But it wasn't really that much of a big enough information for me to make a full-on video on it because the information wasn't fully on there. So kind of a similar thing with this leak itself. There is like some confirmation, there is some movement going on, but once again, the Sony Direct is kind of like more random on just whenever they feel like doing it. And as I mentioned too as well throughout the video, the actual time allocation towards putting all the stock towards the other major retailers may either be a good effect, aka now they're trying to go and send all the consoles to Best Buy and Amazon that are overdue, or if they have all the extras, if those are already being sent on out, because we do know places like Best Buy do already have some stock, then maybe they could have a chance to go build up more stock for this early next week, or even today, but probably not today. I think today's not that likely. But as I mentioned, if I do see anything, I'll tweet it on out or put a community post on the channel itself. So a little bit of a ramble, a little bit of like a more fun video. We'll have some more restocking news later on throughout today, just in case you guys are just kind of curious overall. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys didn't mind the random, like, little rant video or talk video on the PS Direct themselves, I do hope we do have more PS Directs very, very soon. I do really think that the PS Direct is one of my favorite restocking areas for the PlayStation 5. So hopefully we actually could go see more of them, but like I said, today we'll maybe be on the lookout. We can kind of see if my speculation is going to be right or not for next week or even today, because it does kind of make sense to me in my head, but we have to have more information for us to kind of go compare and see throughout the next week or so. So good luck if you guys are trying to get a drop. Like I said, a little bit more of a random fun speculation video. You guys can leave your comments and thoughts down below if you guys would like. And of course, we'll have some more restocking news and videos all throughout the day too as well, if you guys would like. I love you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys all have a good rest of your nights, and thank you guys all for existing.